Assalamu alaikum and welcome to another video of Learn with Larry. Today we will be discussing neurotransmitters. So before starting this video, please subscribe to the channel for more such videos. So the most common excitatory neurotransmitter is glutamate, and it is present in corticostriatal fibers, rods and cones of the retina, the cerebellum, and the fast pain fibers. Now, what were the fast pain fibers? As we just did in the nerve fibers, the fast pain fibers were A delta. So it is present there as well. And the function will be major excitatory, and as it is present in rods and cones, so visual motor coordination and sharp pain. Now let's do pain in a little detail. So pain, the neurotransmitter, it will sensitize the nociceptors and then mediate pain. For fast pain, as we just did, it will be glutamate. For slow pain, such as in C fibers, it will be substance P. Now there is always a pain mediator, which is a chemical-like substance, and it is mostly released from a damaged tissue. It is bradykinin and prostaglandin E. So, for example, when a menstrual cycle is going on and the uterus is shedding, a lot of people complain of back pain and the pain in their legs. It is caused by bradykinin and prostaglandin. So, when the uterus is shedding, these substances are released and they mediate pain in the thighs and in the back. They often irritate nerves as well. Now, for the inhibitory neurotransmitter, for pain, it is enkephalin. So this is the one which will inhibit the pain pathway, so no pain when enkephalin is there. Now moving on to sleep and memory. So the neurotransmitter is acetylcholine. You must have heard about it a lot. Acetylcholine is the one present in a lot of neuromuscular junctions. It is also present in all preganglionic neurons in the autonomic nervous system. It is also present in the basal nucleus of Menard and pons. So in pons, it is responsible for REM sleep, memory, and neuromuscular junction transmission. This one is in pons and the rest is in other parts of the brain. Moving on to attention. This is a neurotransmitter, norepinephrine. We're talking about acetylcholine. We will definitely talk about norepinephrine. So the sources, it is present in most postganglionic sympathetic nerve endings, not all, but most of them, also in pons as acetylcholine. Now here it is responsible for arousal, stress, attention, and vigilance. So this just related with sympathetic nervous system. It will be in sympathetic system. There will be arousal, fight and flight. So stress, arousal, attention, vigilance. All of those are associated with sympathetic nervous system. So it increases in anxiety and decreases in depression. Again related to sympathetic nervous system. Now, movement and emotion. This one is dopamine. You would have often heard of dopamine related with emotion. It is mostly present in substantia nigra, the nigrostriatal pathway created from substantia nigra, VTA, ventral tegmental area, and hypothalamus. In hypothalamus, it is present to inhibit prolactin. Otherwise, it is responsible for reward, motivation, and movement. So, emotion is reward and motivation. Please differentiate emotion with mood and behavior. We will be discussing that next. Since we're discussing dopamine and it is such an important part of substantia nigra, we'll just see what substantia nigra is. It is a darkly pigmented structure in the midbrain and it is a part of basal ganglia. So caudate, putamen, all of these are a part of basal ganglia. So it will have nigrostriatal pathway. And the neurotransmitter responsible will be dopamine. So dopamine mostly excites, however, it inhibits as well depending on the type of receptors. It has D1 and D2. For example, it acts as an inhibitory neurotransmitter when it is inhibiting prolactin. However, in movement control and reward, it acts as an exciting neurotransmitter. Now, GABA is also present in substantia nigra. This is a kind of neurotransmitter, and this is the main inhibitory neurotransmitter of substantia nigra or nigrostriatal pathways or basal ganglia, however way it is written. So GABA is the main inhibitory neurotransmitter. Now we've done movement and emotion. Let's move on to mood and behavior. Something very important is serotonin. You would have seen in psychiatry people take SSRIs, serotonin reuptake inhibitors. That means serotonin is responsible for regulating mood and behavior. It decreases depression and anxiety. Also, it modulates the pain, and it is responsible for sleep as well. Now, one other neurotransmitter we did was responsible for sleep, that was acetylcholine. Now, this was responsible for REM sleep, and serotonin is responsible for non-REM sleep and the appetite. So, related with psychiatric issues, mood, sleep, appetite, and pain modulation, it's mainly present in the brainstem and the midline, basically the raphe nuclei. This was all about serotonin. Let's talk about histamine. Now, histamine acts as a mediator as well as a neurotransmitter. So, as a mediator, that's a chemical substance. It is released from mast cells, basophils, etc. It is the primary inflammatory mediator and allergic response mediator as well. So, when acting as a neurotransmitter, it is present in the brain in the hypothalamus to cortex pathways. It is responsible for, now keep in mind the function of hypothalamus: wakefulness, appetite, learning, and circadian rhythm. Now remember, when we take antihistamines, that means that for allergy or anything, that means when we are taking antihistamines, we are banning the histamine. If you're banning it, we feel sleepy. So the function of histamine, wakefulness, is inhibited. That is why we feel sleepy. I hope you understand the neurotransmitters and you understood the previous topics as well. If you learned something and if you like my videos, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you.